Strober here, the world's first and only dark-skinned activist is in the building. Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon. I hope y'all having a good day. Darkskinactivist.com, that is my website, darkskinactivist.com. Just a few housekeeping things before I get into the meat of what I want to say, and I'm not going to be on here for a whole long time today. I always say that, and then sometimes I end up going longer than what I planned. But it's just some housekeeping things. The reason why I always start my lives out letting the whole wide world know that I'm the world's first and only dark-skinned activist is for the simple fact of, since I've been on YouTube, people have copied, stolen, ripped off, plagiarized my original work on colorism and dark skin. I started the first platform in history to fight to end what some people call colorism, but what I call darkism. And I started in 1998, before social media existed. Called myself the Dark Skin Activist, and I created the first colorism channel on YouTube. I went viral back in 2015, social media famous, and when people got wind of what I was doing, creating a platform about colorism, they started stealing from me. They started taking from me. Lafi, that's one of the trifling pieces of trashes that stole from me. And God willing, if I get enough money to file a lawsuit, I am going to file a lawsuit. But I am the originator of the entire colorism lane on YouTube, on social media, and you ain't got to take my word for it. Do your research. I always tell everybody, do your research to see, is what Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark-skinned activist, saying, is what I'm saying true? Do your research. Google me. Wikipedia me. Do your research. My website is darkskinactivist.com. darkskinactivist.com. And if you want to make a donation, my Cash App is $rashidalala. $rashidalala. Okay, Dolomite. I don't follow her, so I don't know what the hell she over there doing. I'm not like a gossip. I've never been like a gossip type channel. Yeah, I've never been that type of channel at all. What am I doing now? I've always produced my plays about dark skin. Always, always, always. So what I do has never changed. I have been producing my plays about dark skin way before YouTube ever existed. My play includes A Dark-Skinned Woman's Revenge. I did a performance actually last year at the Atlanta Black Theater Festival. I'm looking to produce Burnt Black Crispy Biscuit. That's my new show that I'm looking to produce. But I'm looking for some financial backers for that one. But I've always produced my shows no matter what. Come in hell and high water, I'm going to produce my dark skin plays on the Dark Skin Activist Tour. Hey, AC Walker. Shout out to everybody that's watching, like, and share. All right, so I got that out the way. Hey. So I'm going to tell y'all what triggered this live. Y'all want to know what triggered this live? I'm going to tell y'all. I was out and about. I know sometimes YouTube notifies you and sometimes they don't. And I wish they wouldn't do that because it's like really strange and weird. And sometimes they'll send out all these notifications and I get a whole bunch of views. And then sometimes people will say they don't get the notification. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know what's up with YouTube. But I ain't going to be on here that long. I'm finna tell y'all, I am Lafi. Yes, I'm finna tell y'all what triggered this live, though. I gotta talk about it. I was coming out of Office Depot. I ain't gonna say nobody's names. I never say people's names. I just talk about my life without saying names. So today ain't gonna be no different. So I was walking out of Office Depot, and I saw this person whose church that I went to when I was like a little girl. And the church was like a little storefront church. Like a Pentecostal storefront church in St. Petersburg. And I remember that church. I grew up in a Pentecostal church with the shouting and all that, long church services. People having bringing food for the service afterwards. We would go to church from like 8 o'clock in the morning to sometimes like 10 o'clock at night. And I'm not Lafi, but I do believe in God. I do love God. But I grew up in a Pentecostal church, y'all, and this was one of the rare churches that I actually liked, because my mom, who was a fanatical Pentecostal Christian, she used to drag me and my 5 brothers to church all the time. And that was her thing. A lot of times these women, and I'm not saying this to be rude, I'm saying it because black people need to stop lying and fronting and covering up and pretending that we don't have dysfunction. And stop pretending that the mothers are self-righteous and they can't do no wrong. No mom or dad is self-righteous. Everybody done did wrong. They're not, to me, they're not to be revered in the sense to where you lie. That's what I'm saying. So my mom used to drag us to these churches, right, y'all? And we would have to stay in church all day. And we would go to different churches, revivals, you name it. And these was like the hood Pentecostal churches. Like, these was like the real deal Pentecostal church. None of that proper stuff. None of that I'm cute stuff. None of that. It was like the real Pentecostal church. They run around shouting. The pastor laying hands on people, knocking people out, speaking in tongues. Sometimes people wig fall off. Sometimes people, they sweaty, musty, stank, all that. That's just what it was. Okay, so it wasn't all that cute stuff. Okay, it just wasn't. It is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So my mom used to drag us to like a bunch of different churches all the time. She couldn't seem to make up her mind, hence some dysfunction. Anyway, she couldn't seem to make up her mind which church she wanted to go to. So we was always going from church to church to church to church to church. We would go to churches where it was white pastors. We would go to street minister churches. There was this one pastor, what was his name? She used to go to like these white males, I remember, that would have like street ministry. Shout out to all the white men with the street ministries. She would go to their churches and stand out there on the corner. We out there clapping, singing, preaching, me and my brothers. It was really wild. I need to write from that perspective, and I am going to do that. I did actually start writing about my experiences growing up with my mom in a Pentecostal church setting. I mean, literally, she used to stand out on the street corner. One time, she stood in front of her house in a residential neighborhood having church. And the people said, "You can't do that over here." They started calling the police. They said, "You're making noise. This is a residential neighborhood. You can't come over here having street service in front of your house, making all this noise, beating drums and the tamarines and having prayer." Which she was actually doing this in a residential neighborhood. It was wild. And y'all wonder why. Hence the title. My dark-skinned dad was not dysfunctional. My dark-skinned mom was dysfunctional. It is what it is. Dysfunction. So, I hear you, Lafi. It was wild. Hey, everybody. Coopville says, sound like church in Tampa. Yeah. So I'm walking out. Let me get back to what happened today, what triggered this live. So I'm walking out of Office Depot, and I see one of the people that when I was a little girl, I probably was around like maybe no more than 9 or 10, but I still remember these people. I saw the person walk out of Office Depot. And I don't forget nobody's face. And the person actually kind of looked the same. They're older, obviously, because this was like from the late 80s or mid 80s. The person walked out, and I said hi to them. I said, "Hi." I said, "My name is Rashida, and I remember you from such and such church." And they stopped and they started talking to me, and we got to chit-chatting, and I got to telling them what I was doing now in life, and we talked probably for about 5 minutes, and it was a nice little conversation. But then I remembered this person. And I remember how I wish that this person could have been my dad and my mom. It was a married couple. I used to wish when I saw these two people that this person was my dad and the wife was my mom. The reason I used to wish that is because they were like the polar opposite of the household I was growing up in. And now let me just preface this with saying I would have kept my same dad because my dad was not dysfunctional. My dad was a nice, calm, logical, handsome, cool, collective, dark-skinned, neat, clean, articulate, charming black man. He was wonderful. Okay? That's just the truth. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to grow up in his household because I lived with my mom, who was extremely dysfunctional. And I'm not saying this to be rude. I'm saying it because black people need to start telling the truth so that we can break generational curses. My mom was extremely dysfunctional, unorganized, no emotional connection, used the church to cover up everything, just, it was a hellish, miserable existence. My life was hellish and miserable. I didn't grow up in a two-parent home, and I despise single-parent homes. I despise single-parent homes. And notice I did not say single-mother homes. I said single-parent homes. Because a single-parent home can be a single-father home as well as a single-mother home. I don't like households that don't have a mom and a dad because of how I grew up. The house was not clean. We were poor. My mom was always in some type of state of depression. It was a miserable existence, and that's why I'm anti-natalist, and that's why I still have my trauma going on. And when I saw this person today, and this person still had this jovial attitude like my dad, so friendly, same exact way as when I was a kid. They were so friendly, him and his wife. They were just so welcoming, and I remember looking at their children, wishing I was a part of their family. And that is what triggered this video. They were just so wonderful because the mom and the dad were raising the children. And the dad, you could tell he was take control, like an alpha male, but with a kind spirit, like my father. My father was an alpha male, a boss, but with a kind spirit. Because some men, they the boss, but they don't gotta like be authoritarian and like be all like, I'm the boss. They don't do all that. They do it in a smooth way. I like men like that. That's how my dad was. They do it in a way to get you to do what they need you to do without being overbearing. That's how my dad was. And that's how this particular person was. I could read people very well, even as a child. And his wife was so nice. And she was just a beautiful lady. And they had a beautiful family. And they were always so nice and calm and dressed nice and smelled good. And their personality was just wonderful. And I realized, even as an adult, damn, I grew up in complete dysfunction. I wish I could have been born in that family. Or I wish I could have been born with my father, just with a different mother. I'm not saying this to be rude. I'm saying this because this is how I feel. People get mad at people feeling. Y'all get mad at my feeling all y'all want. I don't care. I got one life to live, and I'm going to speak on how I feel. And I'm not going to apologize. I'm not going to try to make nobody feel comfortable. If you don't like what I'm saying, that's your problem. I'm speaking on my life. I'm speaking on my life. I wish that this man and this woman was my mom and dad. I thought they were so amazing. And seeing the person today, I was like, this person still got the same beautiful spirit. And you could tell it's not fake. Because you know when people be faking. The person got the same beautiful spirit. The same same, hey, L.E. Davis, got the same wonderful personality to this day. I was like, wow. And I remember looking at their kids going, dang, they lucky. And not envying them, just feeling like they blessed. I'm happy for them. Like it was a feeling of, I'm happy that they're able to grow up in a black family with a black mom and a black dad, and they could be happy. And it was no dysfunction. It was nobody going in their room all day, closing the door and not wanting to talk to you. Or all the dysfunctional behavior that I grew up with. The poverty, the poverty, the poverty, the poverty. The lack. Black people were traumatized. And I realized that that black family was a rarity. And I just want to say that if you grew up in a two-parent home with a nice mom and a nice dad that's not dysfunctional and crazy, you are so blessed. You need to thank God. Okay? You need to be thanking God. If you had a nice, even if your parents kind of dysfunctional, but they still nice and hustler, whatever, I would even took that. If I had a parent that was a hustler, that got out there and went and got that money and made my life a little bit more comfortable, I would take that even. Still. I had such a hellish existence. Going into my house growing up was like the black hole. And I hate to say black. I hate to use black because I love black. I like myself. I like being dark skinned. But it was like depression. It was like when I remember getting off the bus, not even want to go home. Not even want to go in there because it was not pleasant. It wasn't pleasant. You know what I'm saying? And that's one of the things I'm happy about, because I feel like, and my kids can tell their own story when they grow up. I'll never try to stop them. Speak y'all peace. I try my very best. I find myself trying my best to make my own house pleasant. Clean, first of all, because my dad was very clean. I'm a very clean person. You can't walk in my place with your shoes on. We're not doing that. I like cleanliness and order, because I didn't have that. If I got cleanliness and order, I'm happy. If it's in disarray, that's a problem. I mean, dirty clothes. We grew up with dirty clothes, wasn't washed. The house was just in disarray. It was like junky sometimes. It was crowded. It wasn't as clean as it should be. Oh, it was like, my dad, for example, I would go to his house, and my dad was Muslim, and his wife had this place spotless. Oh my God, it was spotless. She didn't talk to me a lot, but that her housekeeping skills and the quiet and peace compensated for it. So I wasn't mad at her for that, because I get it. You know, you somebody else's child. I understand that now. I get it. I'm not mad at that woman for that at all, because to me, she was good to me in a way that I learned from her how to be clean and how to keep food cooked and how to take care of your man and your family. I learned that from that lady. So I ain't mad at her at all. Hold on, y'all. Go ahead. Hold on. Because I don't even think I got nothing in this car. Ain't nothing in this car. I have to go up the street. Ain't got nothing. I have to go home. Now give me a second. Oh, okay. BP talking about what if people feet stink. You crazy. Oh, thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate you. I appreciate everybody that's watching too. Hey, BA, I want to say shout out to everybody that's watching. Everybody keep asking me what this scar is right here. It's from a surgery, y'all. It's from a surgery, that's all. It's from a surgery. It was cervical. But what they do is if they do cervical, meaning the back of your neck surgery, they cut you from the front. That's what that is. Hey, Jesse. Hey, the mighty one. Okay, the mighty one. You crazy. But no, let me finish. Y'all. I ain't gonna be on here for that long. But thank you. I can barely see your name. I ain't want to butcher your name, Pasha. So yes, y'all. What was I saying before I was interrupted? Like, my stepdad is parked right next to me. We making a phone call. So yeah, my dad, his wife she didn't talk a lot, cause some women they be wanting their husbands, whatever the case may be. I don't be mad about that. I never held that against her. I respect the union of marriage. I always have and I always will. But I learned a lot from her. But my mom, man, it was just never a happy household. It was never like peaceful. It was never harmonious. It was never thank you, Amanda. It was never a harmonious way of life. It was a miserable existence in my mom's house. And I guess what she was trying to do for her own self, it wasn't really about the children, and obviously the children will follow what the mother does. But I guess that my mom, by going to all these different Pentecostal churches, she was trying to compensate for whatever she had going on in her life. Because as an adult, I have realized, and my brother kind of helped me understand this, that you got to have a certain level of compassion on your parents and realize that they were people. They was a little girl, a little boy before your ass was even born. And they was their own person with their own thoughts, emotions, and feelings. And it took me a long time to get to that point, to say, oh, my mom is a human being too, that had her own ambitions before I came into existence. So for that, there's a side of me that takes pity on her and says, okay, but at the same time, I still got to speak about my life. I'm telling y'all my life, what I experienced, and it was hell. If I could be reborn again, I would not be born to the same mother. I'd take my dad, and that's no disrespect to my mom at all. I'm just telling y'all the truth. I'm not going to sugarcoat. You ain't going to get no sugar water over here. I'm going to tell you the truth. I would be born to parents that they didn't got to be necessarily rich. But I would want them to have the personality of the person I saw today, that I remember from the church that I went to when I was a little girl. I would want them to have that personality. I mean, this big smile, loving, caring, happy, jovial. And y'all sit up here and wonder why sometimes us dark-skinned women, or let me talk about myself. Let me talk about me. Because I'm going to talk about Rashida. I ain't going to generalize. Y'all wonder why dark-skinned Rashida is the way she is. And she's loud and she cuss and she get mad and she what. Well, if you had to survive hell like I had to survive hell, that's how you might end up. So that's why, one of the reasons why, and I'm taking accountability because I'm an adult, but you can't exist without being a child first. And you got to go through that, and that's a part of you. And so the hellish childhood that I had to go through is one of the reasons why I'm like I am today. Now, I have tried my very best to work through it. I'm still working through it. I'm never going to be perfect. I tried my best not to create the same trauma, even though, I don't know, only time will tell. My kids will grow up and tell me. My son already told me about myself, and I've apologized to him, and I'll apologize again. I ain't finna take responsibility for everything, but one thing about me, I will apologize to my kids. I will say something. My mom never did that. It was like, my mom used to say, she had a favorite saying, what I say go. What I say go. What I say goes. That's what she used to say. And she meant that. And if you wanted to come with something else, you might have got knocked out. For real. She ain't come out no CPS. She'll tell you, call CPS. Call CPS. Come over here and she'll knock you out in front of them. That's what she'll tell you. She was not playing. She was serious. But my mom was so dysfunctional. So dysfunctional. So unorganized. But one thing I did like about growing up with her was the 80s music. I love 80s music. I don't care. You like the soft rock 80s music. People like Lionel Richie and who else I love from the 80s? Billy Ocean. Mom used to listen. She'll tell you she's a Christian, but how do I know all these songs? Cause you was in there listening to that stuff when you was in the world. You was listening to it. So that's how. Hey, Ryan's Creek. Hey, Adam. Yeah, you're right, Adam. You can only apologize so much, but I will apologize. My mama never said sorry to me for all the stuff she did to me. I will tell my children sorry. I will say that. I will tell them I'm sorry. I will hear them out. But now, at the end of the day, it is probably going to end up being my way if you're under the age of 18. But I will hear you out and give you some. I never had none of that. It was either my mama way or the highway. And if you ain't like that, you might get bust up. You might get beat up. You might get an extension cord. You might get a weight belt. You might get a big, thick switch upside your head. You might get put in a chokehold, like, for real. That's how it went down in the 80s. And again, CPS could go sit down somewhere because my mom wasn't thinking about them. She would have did all that in front of the worker and wouldn't have cared at all. Like, okay, call CPS and what else? Okay. Sarah says, was your mom diagnosed with mental issues? Never. And that's the thing. I believe she does have some form of mental illness, but she has never been diagnosed because she's against psychiatrists. She doesn't now. I got an aunt, may she rest in peace, who was all for going to the doctor and all for therapy and all for seeing a psychiatrist. My mom was the exact opposite. She would not visit a psychiatrist. She would not. Everything was in the black community, as y'all know. God gonna work it out. God gonna fix it. I rebuke them demons in the name of Jesus. Get away from here in the name of Jesus. Hodia kidia kambia kadia. Hodia kambia. That's what she used to do. She used to speak in tongues. Like, that's what it was, y'all. I do, Sarah. You know, everything was God gon' you ain't got no mental illness. That's the devil. We gonna cast them mental illness demons out in the name of Jesus. And then she'll go to find her a new pastor to go to, and then, you know, they'll pray for you and start pushing your head back like that, pushing you. Then you end up falling down, and then the mothers in the back will catch you and they'll cover you up. But my mama was real wild with it. She'll run around the church. They could not stop her. She'll run all around the church. And y'all don't believe me? My stepdad said right here. I don't know if he would like, cause I mean, he been knowing her longer than me. I don't know if he'll tell y'all about his wife, but this lady is like really off the chain, a real character. But I had a hellish existence. Now I will say that when she was getting along with my stepdad, then she'll back up off of us, me and my brothers, and it was like we'd have little moments of peace. But I wanted to experience the constant peace like I did in my dad's house. I never had any problems with my dad. Like I said, even though his wife wasn't a talker, and she had this little hardy little attitude, she had a nice clean house. I always ate good, and that's all I needed. You ain't gotta talk to me. I really ain't care if you talk to me. I cared about a clean, peaceful, calm environment where I could sit down and read and be at peace, and I could have order. And that's what she brought to the table, and that's why I respect that lady to this day. I ain't care if she talked to me. May she rest in peace, because I felt like she was a calm, peaceful, cool, collective woman, and I felt like she was a great choice for my dad, and my dad loved her. And my dad personality was just, everybody loved this man. And she was like the exact opposite. She was quiet and calm, and maybe that's probably why he liked her. I don't know. But anyway, maybe that's why he married her. But I know that I was very peaceful, and it was very clean, and the food was very good and fresh, and there was no dirty clothes piled up. Okay? All right, and she washed the dishes every night, and I would go in there and clean up and help. And I had to make sure everything was clean, and I learned from her. And to this day, you're not going to see me leaving dirty dishes in the sink overnight. I don't care how tired I am. I'm going to go wash the dishes. I like a clean house. It has to be clean. And if you're not clean, you got to go. I'll tell you, you got to go nicely. I'm going to be nice about it, but you won't be back, because I'm not going to put up with that. I kind of picked that up from my father's wife. So, yeah. Anyway. But my mom's house was so dysfunctional. I mean, before she got saved, she used to have all these loudmouth women in there that she was like the leader, and she'll fight. My mama, I remember I was in Kmart one time and the cashier said something to her, and my mama she hit the lady. My mama was like really volatile, and she could fight. I remember seeing her fight growing up, and she used to hang with this lady named Willie Mae. Willie Mae had all these cuts on her face, and Willie Mae was like one of them people. I think Willie Mae had been to prison. Willie Mae could fight, but my mama could fight also, so they got along. And we used to go to Willie Mae's house. Willie Mae, may she rest in peace, she used to live in the hood, and she used to cook us these. She had like a little nasty, little trifling little hood house. I always noticed nasty, trifling houses, even as a kid. I noticed the difference, and I said, I'm not gonna live like this when I grow up. I'm gonna have a nice place. And that's exactly, I don't care. It's not about money. It's about you can keep your place nice and clean even if you ain't got no money. Because I'm a less is more type of person. I just like cleanliness. And we would go to Willie Mae's house, and Willie Mae's house was, but she did cook us some food, pork and beans and all that nasty stuff, hot dogs, nasty little pork sausages, all that we would eat. And me and my brothers piled up in the car like sardines, and we were miserable. It was a miserable existence. And oh my gosh, she lived in the hood. Her house was not clean. The building was old. It was not modern. And there was this one lady that my mama used to, this dude she used to hang with, but he had a girlfriend, and she was stank. I don't care how many times she took a bath, she was stank. She would go over there, and my mom would, oh my God, it was just horrible. These people that we were around. And then when my mama started getting saved, she'll go to these older ladies' houses, and they'll pray all day, and we was hungry, and we didn't get nothing to eat, and it was just hell. It was hell. It was hell. Sarah says, as a child of narcissistic parents, I am obsessed with cleanliness. I know that. I know that's right, Sarah. I'm not Jamaican. My ex-husband is Jamaican. Spanish town, and my daughter, of course, is half Jamaican. Sharaka said, are you from Africa? I would love to be from Africa, but I was born in St. Petersburg, Florida. Buona says, nice glasses. Thank you. You like my glasses? Yeah, Amanda, I can't do it because my father's wife, she'll get up. She used to walk slow. She used to have like this very dignified, slow walk. But she'll walk in that kitchen. She'll wash them. She'll wash them dishes. Ooh, she used to make butter beans and turkey necks with cornbread. I'm talking about this lady could throw down cooking like, and that lady could cook. I ain't gonna even lie. I believe that's probably another reason why my dad loved her, because he did not eat pork and that woman could cook. And my dad was so happy with her. She was the most quietest woman, but he was so happy with her. Y'all be online talk about submissive. I seen the real submissive. Y'all. I grew up seeing it with my dad. My mom was not submissive at all. It was her way or the damn highway, and that's what it was. That's what it was. But y'all. Paulo, okay, Paulo. Thank you, David. Hey, Angel Snup 7. What's going on? Oh man, y'all go over there and subscribe to our brother Angel Snup 7. Me and you need to do a live about anti-natalism. Angel Snup 7 is a true hero, y'all. Y'all need to go read his book. Y'all need to go subscribe to his channel. This man has overcome some stuff that I don't think the average individual could overcome and fight their way out of. You're a true warrior. I got a lot of respect for you. I know you done been through a lot of stuff on YouTube, but these people could not walk in your shoes and come out. They couldn't. Angel Snup 7, y'all. Make sure y'all go subscribe to his channel. I'm telling y'all, this man is like a real warrior. Like, he's a fighter. The real kind. Not the one that just be talking and running their mouth. The one that really fights and keeps going and going and going. Even when even when the chips are down. You got people that get up, dust themselves off, and keep going. That's what Angel Snup 7 does. So, oh yeah, Kamala Harris is not black. I'm going to do a whole live on that. Hey, Arabian. I'm going to do a whole live on her not being black. I'm not voting for her. I'm not voting for Trump either, but I'm not voting for her. She's not black. She's, playing in our face. And, hey, Game Changer, look at my voice crush over here. Game Changer, you need to show your face, okay? I do have a voice crush on you. I have had a voice crush on you since I heard you speak. You speak like in this proper tone that's just like, Okay, let me not blush on here, because Game Changer, his voice is like, y'all ain't ever had a voice crush before. I mean, this man is my voice crush. I like the way you talk. I do. I don't know how you look, but I like the way you. I hope how you talk matches the way how you look. Because if how you talk don't match the way how you look, that's gonna be a problem. Cause I don't like. I'm not saying you catfishing, but that could be a form of catfishing. People having nice voices, and then you see how they look, and then and then and then you know what I'm saying. You see the face don't match the voice. That's why I believe in showing face. That's why y'all need to show y'all face. That's why I always show my face. Y'all could talk about me. Y'all could call me ugly. Y'all could call me. People be talking about how I talk. People don't like the tone, my deep tonation. I don't give a damn. Y'all get the real me. Y'all see the real me unfiltered. This is what it is. And Angel Snup 7, no, this is what it is in person. I'm 10 times turned up in person. That's how it go. Okay? What you see is what you get. Anyway, Clacky, man, talking about, can you shout me out? Okay, Game Changer 011. I hope I ain't saying your last part of your name wrong. Amanda says, see how good God is. He gave you two polar opposites, letting you know, pick somewhere in between. You're right, Amanda. That's a damn good point. Because my mom was just volatile. And I am my mother's child. I got some of her in me, as well as my dad. But my mom was volatile. She was loud. When she was young, she'd fight. My mama, when she was young, I'm not gonna lie, she had hands. I grew up with 5 brothers. My mom had hands. I do myself. I'm not saying that to brag. I'm just saying that's what I came from. But I was the opposite. I didn't like to fight. I would only fight if you provoked me or bothered me. Like I said, I like to go to my dad's house because it was calm and quiet and peaceful. My mama's house was just, honestly, I wouldn't even, at my own children after a certain age, I wouldn't force them to go to my mama's house because it's still like the same. It's just she's older now. Also, she is a hoarder. Okay, and I have volunteered, me and my brothers, to help her clean up stuff. She doesn't want it. She is a hoarder. I'm like the polar opposite. I'm a less is more type of person. I don't like a lot of stuff. And the stuff that I have, it has to be in order. If it ain't in order, it's going to be a problem. We got to keep stuff in order. My mama the opposite. She has everything crowded up. There's no space. And you got 5, 6 kids. Imagine living like that. Imagine growing up. I don't know why I didn't adopt her ways in terms of that. I don't know why. Because technically, growing up in that environment, I should have adopted her ways. But even when I was a little girl, because I was the only girl, I always had my own room. I would always clean my room. And before I started reading, I used to like to read. So I would clean the room up, and I would have to have everything neat, and then I'd read. And the whole house, if you walk outside of my room, everything was like disorganized. And at first it wasn't like that, because I remember my mom liked furniture. She liked antique furniture, and she would go to yard sales and pick up all this furniture, and it was like looking neat at first. But then as she started to progress and get older, it started to get cluttered and crowded, and I was like, man. And I'm going back and forth. Sometimes I go to my dad's house, and I'm going, it's like, I see all this order, and I have to go back over here, and my brain started scrambling. I'm like, this is dysfunction. I can't live like this. Total and utter, and to this day, like I might be driving my child crazy because I'm orderly. I expect my daughter to get up every day. You gotta sweep, you gotta make your bed. Everything has to be orderly. You gotta, wash your face, brush your teeth, take a shower, get dressed, and then you can do this. It's like I got to have order. I cannot function. Like I literally cannot function. I gotta go clean my car out, and I don't care if I got a hoopty. I don't care if I got a nice car. It gotta be clean. I need to have everything in order. I'm starting to think that's a damn mental disorder, my being polar opposite of my mom to the point where I gotta have stuff done before I can even start working. I'm starting to think that might be a mental disorder. Okay. And then oh my God, I've got this thing where I don't like a lot of stuff in my house. I don't like a lot of stuff. Like, it is I cannot stand a lot of stuff. I don't like a lot of furniture. I just, the less stuff I have, the happier I am. The less stuff I have, I'm talking about in the terms of like furniture and stuff in my house, I can't stand it. I need to, when I walk through the house and I see nice clean floors that smell like lemon pine sol, and it smell good, and I got my little air wick. I always have my little air wick, switching them out, and I walk in, it could be nothing in there, but if it smell good and it's clean, I'm happy as hell. I know, y'all, that's crazy, but it's the polar opposite of what I grew up with. And then my mom, the bathroom, they always used to put me by the bathroom, and the bathroom wasn't never clean enough for me. So I think I got this disorder with bathrooms, because I won't even use a public bathroom. I detest using public bathrooms, and I carry these around with me in my car all the time. Even before the pandemic, my antibacterial spray, I probably got about 20 bottles of these things because of how I grew up, y'all. I literally am constantly cleaning out my bathroom. My toilet has to be clean, to the point where I've moved into places, and if I see like stains in the toilet, I will change the fucking toilet out. Yes, I will. And it's because how I grew up. So maybe I do have this little mental problem, but I don't know what you would call this. But I have to have stuff clean. My mom and my brothers, they used to have water on the floor. I can't have water on the bathroom floor. We can't do that. It's so many pet peeves. God, it's crazy. Y'all, it's crazy. Anyway. Why am I on here telling y'all all of this? Oh, but it's just like, it's how I grew up. I was traumatized in dysfunction. And I can't live like that. Like, I'm like the extreme opposite. Like, I think I take it to the extreme. I taught my daughter how to clean. She's pretty good at cleaning up. She does a real good job. I gotta clean as I cook. That's another thing I learned from my father's wife. She was a stickler for cleaning as she cooked. You can't have dishes piled up and all this stuff. You clean as you go. Till this day, I will clean as I go. If I start to see a lot of stuff in disarray, like dishes, it does something to me. I gotta like, no, we cannot do it like this. We gotta clean this stuff up. So it's like the dysfunction has really affected me. Okay, you trying to be funny on here in a lot of ways. I'm not going to even keep reading that comment because you're trying to trigger me. I'm not going to let you trigger me like that. I'm not going to let you trigger me. Let me see. Oh my God, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm sorry to hear that. Animal 922. That deranged bunny says a cluttered house is a cluttered mind. So that makes sense. Yeah. And I noticed that it just seemed like my mom was always not clear thinking. I mean, she was functional, but not clear thinking. So you're right about not having a cluttered house to clear your mind. Angel Snup Snup says, my mother believed if it's serving no purpose, she's going to throw it out. Clutter is a no-no. I'm the same way. Like, I'll get rid of it. I'm kind of nostalgic. I'll keep some stuff, but I'm quick to throw stuff out. Like clothes, I'll get rid of clothes, give them away. Like, I like order. I don't mind keeping stuff, but it has to be in order. It can't be a cluttered situation. It can't be clothes thrown all over the place. It can't be dirty mattresses. We grew up with dirty mattresses. It was just a disaster. It was just a disaster. I have horrible childhood memories. That's why I'm anti-natalist. I am, and I'm not going to stop being anti-natalist for anybody. I just, and just seeing that person today, when I saw this person and their jovial personality, and they took me back to my childhood, wishing that they were my parents. Like, I wish, even right now, as crazy as it sounds, I wish that man was my dad and his wife was my mom. Beautiful black couple, y'all. Just, it's not perfect, but you could just see the love and the care and the take careness that they have for their kids. And you know, I wish that I grew up in that type of home. Corey says, how do you have the energy to clean constantly? Because I'm just, thank you, Life with the Jones family, because I'm just driven to keep stuff clean because of the disorder that I went through growing up. I can't take a house that's not clean. I can't take people walking in my place with their shoes on. And if they have to walk in there, I will mop that fucking floor with bleach and bleach it down and sanitize it as soon as you leave. It's like crazy. Like, so I could be tired, but I need to have a clean environment. I need to have a clean environment. Jay Bush says the Whispers, Mary Wells, the Supremes, the Spinners, Bobby Walmart, George Benson. Okay, I was trying to figure out what you're talking about. X Hugo says, can I identify as a black man because I have a black stepfather? Interesting. Yeah, so shout out to everybody that's watching, y'all. I would like to get at least one cash app before I end this live. My cash app is $RASHIDA'S. I never get enough cash apps. I never get enough financial support, y'all. Also, I want to let y'all know that my goal is to produce burnt black crispy biscuit. And if you would like to be a part of helping me produce that, go to my website, darkskinactivist.com, darkskinactivist.com, and you guys can contact me there. And I'm looking for help in terms of producing the show. You can also go to my website and download a free ebook copy of my book entitled Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. Once again, that's Darkism, 25 Ways Dark-Skinned People Are Discriminated Against. And my book is, my website rather is darkskinactivist.com, darkskinactivist.com. So yes, y'all, yeah, that's what I wanted to say today. I ain't gonna be on here much longer. I just had to come on here and tell that story because I saw this person coming up out of Office Depot and I was just so triggered. I was triggered in a good way and in a bad way. It just took me back to my childhood and just wishing that I could have had a different outcome. But I know maybe I shouldn't wish that. And sometimes I feel bad about wishing that. But I mean, I didn't like the life that I had growing up. I didn't like it. It was miserable. I was in poverty. I was always hungry. It was cold. The house wasn't clean. You know, it was never to me enough food except on the first of the month when my mama got her food stamps. I wasn't able to enjoy school. I didn't like being in the house. Oh, it was just miserable. And I don't think children should be miserable. I don't think. Thank you, Corey. I appreciate that cash out. Thank you very much. I do appreciate it. I don't think that children should be miserable. And in my own way, I try so hard to create, you know, a positive environment. Even with my own child, like, we didn't get to go nowhere. Like, we didn't get to go nowhere. Only place we went was vacation Bible school. My mama didn't take us to the park. She didn't do nothing hardly with us. We had to stay in the house and pray and read the Bible and have church. I don't think that children should do that. And so I take my daughter. I done took my daughter to so many places. She done been to Disney World, SeaWorld 2 times, Adventure Island, on vacation. Oh my God, I've done so much stuff because I don't want her to have a miserable experience like I did. Y'all, I was so miserable. I can't even put into work. I might be here all day. I need like a 5-6 hour live to tell y'all about the misery and the hellhole that I grew up in. There was this tile, and one day I'm gonna show it to y'all. That triggers me so bad because I'm talking about tile on the floor. Anybody that grew up in the hood in a certain area of St. Petersburg, if you walk into these apartments and you see this tile, you know that you are poor. You know that you are hood. You know that you are in the ghetto because of how this tile look. I never want to see this type of tile ever again in my life. Like, because Willie Mae had that type of tile, y'all. And we used to have to go to Willie Mae's house and sit there while my mama talk about who they finna fight, who they finna swing on, and all this crazy stuff. And, you know, we sitting up there hungry, and she go in her little nasty little kitchen. You know, they got roaches in there. She ended up cooking them little nasty little poking beans. Oh, well, you cannot pay me to eat poking beans and hot dogs. I'm not eating that shit. I will fucking starve. I will starve. I will starve. I'm not eating pork and beans and pork sausage. We're not doing that. Pork and beans and pork hot dogs. We're not doing that. I will starve. I will starve. Hey, Jolium. Thank you. Hey, Mario. Thank you, Mario. And thank you, Jolium. And thank you, Jay. And shout out to everybody that's watching. If I miss anybody's name, I apologize. I'm just so caught up in my story. I'm going to come back on here and tell y'all some more stuff. But I'm finna tell you right now, never feed your child hog head cheese from the damn nasty corner store. Because that's what I used to eat growing up, me and my brothers. Never feed your child pork and beans and pork hot dogs. Don't do it. Okay? I got to get out of here. Because my stepdad over here looking at me, I wish I could get him on here to tell y'all some stories. Because he knows way more. He got way more interesting stories about my mom than me. And I'm not being disrespectful. I'm just telling y'all my experience growing up. And she happens to be a part of it. And that's just what it is. That's just what it is, y'all. That's just what it is. Once again, Corey says, we come from different worlds. I'm a white boy from the country. It's interesting to hear your perspective. Oh, you from the country. I bet you know how to cook, though. I bet you know how to cook. But yeah, man, listen, I wouldn't wish my childhood on anybody. I wouldn't wish my childhood on my worst enemy at all. I gotta be honest. I wouldn't. And I remember getting off the bus and I used to see more of children that I could tell were more affluent than me, wishing I was them. Wishing I was going to their nice house, their nice orderly house, and could get some snacks. There was something called a bread house growing up right down 49th Street. And I used to wish so hard that I had money to go to the bread house and get some of them snacks. So the bread house used to sell bread, and they used to sell like all kinds of little like cakes and snacks. And I would see the other kids go there, and I was so hungry, and we never had no money. And what I would have to do is I would go pick grapefruits and oranges off the tree because I didn't have no money to go to the bread house. And it was just, y'all, it was just horrible. It was a horrible existence. And some of them church people, I'm going to leave that for my next one. Some of them church people was evil. Evil. And Facebook, you're evil because they keep on recommending this fat-faced, pig-nosed bitch that went to the store. They better stop recommending this bitch because if they keep recommending it, stop Facebook. Facebook is triggering me as well. Okay? Facebook is triggering me as well. Okay? But I'm going to have to tell y'all about these church people. They fake as hell. They're fake as hell. Thank you, Kim. Some of these church people are fake as hell. I'm going to end it right there. Tell y'all about that later. Anyway, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Rashida Strober, the world's first and only dark-skinned activist. My website, once again, is darkskinactivist.com, darkskinactivist.com, darkskinactivist.com. You can go there and download a free ebook copy of my book entitled Darkism. 25 ways dark-skinned people are discriminated against. My Cash App, please make a donation. $RASHIDA'Lala. Once again, $RASHIDA'Lala. Let me put my Cash App up in here before I end this live, because I never get enough Cash App donations, y'all. So please go and find it in the kindness of your heart to make a Cash App donation. It's right there in the chat. My Cash App is also in the description to all of my lives. If you like this live, if you learned something, if you whatever, I don't know, go make a donation. The Cash App is right there, y'all. $RASHIDA'Lala. Yes, Khadidra. And by the way, Khadidra, I want to say thank you for your donation. I'm glad you're on here because I want people to know that people that be donating to me, I do appreciate y'all, and I'm very, very grateful. One thing I will say, y'all, and I'm going to end, is that growing up with my childhood, my disadvantaged, impoverished childhood, it did teach me to be very grateful and humble. Now that's one thing I will say. That's the good thing that came out of it. I am always so thankful and appreciative for anything I get. I don't care what it is. I'll be happy as hell. So, you know, I think this generation lacks humility. A lot of people in the generation, not everybody, but I think that humility is lacking. And, you know, I'm a very grateful person, and just, you know, growing up not having anything taught me to be just grateful. Be thankful for every single thing you get, no matter how big or small somebody say it is. Just be thankful, and that's it. So y'all, I want to appreciate y'all. And Khadidra, you know what? Listen, one thing about YouTube, hey JB, one thing about YouTube, it's up and down. 1 minute YouTube is not promoting your video by sending out your to all your subscribers that you live, and then the next minute they are. So that's why when you seen that 12K, I don't know, I can't explain it. I'll just say I'm gonna keep going. Whether I get 1 view or 1,000,000 views, I'm just gonna keep right on going. That's how I look at it. And that's another thing that my impoverished childhood, I know I'm going off on a tangent, taught me, was you just keep going. You don't complain without continuing to move forward. Okay? Somebody need to stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing. Somebody playing. Let me see something. I think I got somebody playing on my Cash App here. I hate it when people do that. I hate it when people play. Don't play. Okay, so Alvin Carter, why did you request $100 from me? Please stop playing on my Cash App. Please don't do that. Don't do that. Somebody named Alvin Carter. I don't know if you meant to send me $100 or if you're requesting $100, but I looked at my Cash App just then, and I see a request for $100. Why you gotta come on here playing? Like, please don't do that. Thank you, JB. I definitely will do that. Robo Fitness Official. My name is not Tanisha. My name is Rashida. Thank you, Lino. Gray 59 says, that's the best possible response to someone spamming their Cash App tag on their own channel. I didn't realize that internet panhandling was going to be a problem in the future when I was a kid. Diz Store that says, you don't ask for money, only I ask for money. Man, y'all coming on here with some BS. Anyway, my Cash App is $RASHIDA'S. Yeah, y'all not gonna stop me for asking for Cash Apps, because all content creators ask for Cash Apps. I'm not the only one. We all do it, and we're asking for Cash Apps because we providing content. So, you know, I'm not gonna stop. My Cash App is $RASHIDA'S. $RASHIDA'S. With that being said, I want to thank everybody for taking the time to watch. I'm not gonna get on here arguing with nobody, because that's what some of y'all are trying to get me to do. And I hope y'all have a wonderful, pleasant afternoon and evening. And I want to thank everybody for watching and listening to my stories and listening to what I have to say. I'm gonna come back on here and tell y'all about them church people that knew we was hungry and would not feed me and my brothers.